What is up? It's another episode of Dynasty Pylon. Uh, what's up, Mark? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Uh, I'm still trying to gather what happened this weekend. It was exhausting. It was kind of interesting to see where what happened and trades happening. Um, I guess I could say the trades were kind of like surprising.
A little bit. Yes.
Um, yeah, some of the receivers went to different places. They have new homes. Let's start with AJ Brown.
AJ Brown to the
Yeah,
Eagles.
yeah. So I don't know how. I guess for fantasy, I think this is a little downgrade for him. Um, Maybe upgrade for Jalen Hurts. I didn't. I'm glad that they kept Jalen Hurts there. It's nice to see that they're still gonna roll with him. They are going to. He's their guy. There was rumors that they were gonna replace him, but I mean, I thought that was kind of weird and kind of crazy if they did. Um, so now you got Devontae Smith. I don't think Jalen Rager is really a thing.
No.
AJ Brown, and for the last 2 years they've been drafting receiver number one. So why draft a guy when you could use your first for a guy is going to be good and talented, and essentially you look at it, they got another receiver with their first round pick.
Yes, but I was gonna say that. I was gonna be like, they basically spent another first round pick on a receiver.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, another first round for basically a receiver. They traded it, not really used it for a rookie. They used it for on AJ Brown. So it's different to see that. And now with, hey, what's up, Tank? And Anthony, hey, dude, what's up, man?
What's up?
What up, world? They're in the fantasy, the Get Right Fantasy Network over there. They're joining in. Dude, this guy's been asking me a lot of dynasty questions. I hope he has one for us today.
That'd be nice.
He just acquired AJ Dillon recently.
Interesting.
Yeah, he just acquired AJ Dillon. He traded off.
What do you have to give up for him, just out of curiosity?
It was a 3-way trade.
Okay.
It was. I'm sure he'll give us the deets. But it was like a couple of round picks. I know there was a third, potentially a first, but the other guys were also giving up players. I'm sure he'll let me know. I'm not gonna look at my phone right now, but yeah, dude. I like if he gives us something new here and keep me on my toes, that'd be great. There is a lot of off season, I guess, in the fantasy world left, but Dynasty's full blown kicked off right now. We now see where players are going. Like I said, AJ Brown is no longer with Tennessee. So he said he
drafted him, he traded him, then he traded back for him. Quadzilla.
Yeah.
Or Quadbot.
I don't know why you would have. I hope you got him back for. I don't know. I would have kept him. I've kept him this whole time. I know the first year was like, oh, people were like, oh, why? But I'm like, I just kept him there. I'm like, you know what? I think he'll be something. I have a knack for these guys that come in. I think he's gonna be something. And then I also looked at Aaron Jones. I think his time is towards the back end of his contract, even though he just re-up. But I think that I don't think he's gonna fulfill the whole thing.
They only re-up for 3 years, so.
Yeah, so we're
this will be a second
of it, right?
Yeah, this will be the second of 3.
So
we'll see if he makes it through this year, even.
Yeah. So it is May 4th, Star Wars. If you're not really big into Star Wars, may the 4th be with you. I'm currently having my Gorilla Star Wars Dark Side shirt. I was gonna grab my Death Star one. It says this is my happy place. That's always a good one. But yeah, no, I figured Star Wars. But
see that Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer?
I have, and it looks pretty good.
It does look good. I mean, I know that's not Marthic, but
I mean, I'm excited for it. Star Wars is one of I love Star Wars, hands down. So let's see. He says, our green, our GRF also the Get Right Fantasy Network rookie slow draft just finished 4 rounds 2 days. I only had one pick, Tyler Algier at the 212. Okay, we are going to circle back to this comment. I have not given out how I feel about my Falcons yet, and I will talk about Tyler Algier. I like him as a player. So let's just get that there. So I will we'll get there. But the other guy I want to talk about is Marquise Brown, now a Cardinal. The Cardinals losing DeAndre Hopkins for about 6 weeks. So give us what you think about that, since you're a Hopkins owner. For those who don't know what happened and what exactly put himself in this situation.
6-game suspension
know,
for PEDs, performance enhancing drugs. Yeah, I'm not happy at all.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, 6 games, cool.
So
it's only like, a third of the season.
Yeah, Marquise Brown's going to fill in. They're going to re-sign AJ Brown. I think they already did.
No, Green, not Brown.
My bad. AJ Green. Nostalgic. Sorry. Went back.
No, you're good.
So AJ Green. They still have Ertz there. And also they just drafted Trey McBride essentially with their first pick that came into the second round. That was their first pick. They didn't have a first because they traded it for Marquise. They traded a first and a third, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a second, a third, or 2/3, 2 6, and 3 7s. So Trey McBride from Colorado State is now what we liked. We saw his tape. We liked him. He's now there at Arizona. He's going to fulfill. I think it's a very good spot for him. I think that eventually Ertz is pretty much done in the next 2-3 seasons. Either that, he's going to want too much money. All right, so it was basically a 4-way trade. But my part was received AJ Dillon for Gainwell, 206 and 301. That's what it was. So,
well, I like the pickup because I like McBride, and for him to be able to learn under Zach Ertz, I think would be amazing for him.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I'm just reading what.
No, I know. I put it up there.
So no, you're good.
So he basically traded a second, a third, and Gainwell for AJ Dillon.
Mm-hmm. And I liked it. I didn't frown upon it. I think AJ Dillon's going to be one of the top running backs here in the next coming future. Gainwell still needs some work. I know it doesn't help that he's under Sanders, and it doesn't help that he's basically locked into the Eagles system for the next 3 years. But with different coaching and everything, that could possibly change. We don't know. But while Sanders is there for the next year or two, we don't know what's going to happen. I think Sanders is on his last year. So next season, wherever Sanders goes, I don't think he stays. I really don't. So good for whoever got Gainwell. Not entirely screwed himself over entirely. He's going to be a next year guy. If I think hopefully they use Gainwell a little bit more this season. I think he's good. Yeah, I agree. I think when they put him in, he produced. But I don't know why they went back to stupid Howard and Scott, who why? You drafted this guy in the third. Why not put him in? And why the hell not? But whatever. So, but AJ Dillon, good. I like it. He's a big power back, and he's gonna produce for you. So good for you, man. I
like that trade a lot too.
So, and it looks like Brian is joining in. So, what's up, man?
What's up? No, I can't stay long because apparently me and Tank are gonna go on in like 20 minutes.
Oh, that's fine. All right, go ahead, give your piece. I was just talking about the Cardinals and Anthony's trade. So, if you got something to say, go ahead.
Only thing I want to say is there's no way Marquise Brown is worth the first rounder. I don't care what you say. There's no way that he's worth the first rounder.
Okay.
I feel like it's for the talent because you had to pay him. For the talent you could have gotten that first round with that pick, I don't think that's worth it. And I've fought back and forth with it because I understand why they did what they did, but I feel like they would have been better off, especially with the talent that they have, having a younger receiver who would have produced for them that could grow with Kyler Murray.
So you're saying they probably should have drafted Treylon Burks because I think he
Exactly.
was there.
That's exactly what
I
I'm saying.
think Treylon went the following pick or something like that, right?
Yep, it went.
No,
It
Well,
was
Treylon Burks would have been there at 23. He was
No,
taken at like
because-
19 or 16.
So that's right because they traded up for him.
yeah.
yeah.
You're right.
Someone jumped in front of him anyway, but I feel like there's 10 deep, 10 wide receivers deep there. You should have got somebody else.
I don't know.
I don't know.
That
was
it's
my only-
arguably one of those things that you see. I like it. I don't think they did bad. I don't think that what Baltimore was using Brown for was the correct way. Lamar, that's pretty much his only receiver. So now wheels up for Andrews and all the running backs there. It's going to be wheels up. I mean, Bateman's supposed to be the guy now.
He's going to have like 1,400 yards and 10 touchdowns.
If Bateman becomes a dude, then hey, he had a couple of games that it was pretty good, but it wasn't enough for us to like be comfortable and say that Bateman's going to be the guy. Hey, I'm not. Is Boykins still there too?
Is Boykins there?
I'm not
That's
sure.
a good
But,
question.
Blanks right now. Yeah.
and what they did with their safety pick of Kyle Hamilton, that's good. They have Clark there still, so he's gonna have to beat him out, or they might run them both. I don't know what they're gonna do there, but I think Hamilton will be one of those guys that will establish himself next to Clark, or if not beat him out. We'll see. But for the offensive perspective,
at the same time.
Yeah, as an offensive perspective, I think that the Ravens they put themselves in a weird situation, and they didn't even really replace the receiver. So, what are they going to do? I mean, is Sanders still playing Emmanuel?
There's a lot.
Is Cole Beasley or Cole Beasley? Like these guys are going to be like old dudes. Like, are they really going to? I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. It's going to be run, and Boykins is released. Thank you, Anthony. It's going to be a run-heavy team, and with Dobbins coming back, Gus Edwards coming back.
Yeah,
it's going to be good. I think they drafted themselves a late running back in the later rounds. Beatty? Was Tyler Beatty? Was that the guy?
Beatty?
I can't remember.
I know. I mean, Linderbaum. I like Linderbaum. I liked him a lot. So I don't mind that pick either, especially as you're growing. So I mean, I think that was good value. Problem is, you have to replace him sometime. You have to replace some receiver. I don't think Lamar Jackson is Aaron Rodgers. So yes, you do need to replace him at some point. And this is the draft to do it. So every time they came up, I was expecting them to take someone, and they just did not. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing either. So both teams, I really have no idea where they're going.
So Braden, I don't want to hear it. I sent you an invite. I don't want to hear it. It's there.
I actually sent him an invite too.
So before I read this, just throw that out. So they knew that D-Hop suspension was coming. Kyler and Brown are best friends. Yes, they played together, so they had that chemistry. Yes, you're absolutely right. They beat me to the punch, actually. I was going to say all that, too. And excels in the offense in Arizona since it's Ohio. No receivers were going to be available. And I agree.
I hear you, but what? Who's even saying Kyler Murray is going to be playing the first couple of weeks of this season? Unless you get this extension done, he's not going to be playing. So I feel like playing for the future. That's what you need to be doing. You need to be playing for the future. And DeAndre Hopkins is not there. It doesn't matter. Kyler Murray's not there.
I think they're on good terms now. I think Murray will be playing all the way through.
He says what he said. I'm not playing.
I think bringing in Marquise Brown helped him out with his mental state of staying there. Because ever since then, I feel like that the whole issue of that is just kind of shot out the window. You still got Rondell Moore too, who's had a little bit of shining there too. So
No,
I know a lot of people aren't high on him, but he did have a lot of targets. PPR leagues, yeah, it's gonna be great. For other leagues, I'm not too excited about it because I don't care what you say. I hate PPR. I don't want to give. I really don't. It's stupid to me to hand out points to giving out reception. And now that we're on the Cardinals, I have a specific episode to why I hate PPR. It was actually dealing with Rondell Moore, but maybe I'll talk about that later again. I'm probably gonna touch base on it again.
Talk about
that
every
rookie
time comes
rookie
around.
running back too. No, that ain't gonna be a thing. If you're talking about Ingram, no, he'll no. I'm sorry. He's probably this. He'll probably have to battle it out with Eno Benjamin. He's basically the same size as Connor. I don't really think he's going to be the guy. They should have got Isaiah Spiller before the Chargers did.
I agree with that, yeah.
Yeah, so they messed up on that, and they're focused on Murray's extension right now. I mean, that's good.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
I think with bringing in Brown,
that's going. I think money is going to be the number one thing. I have to be signed. Without this contract, he's not going into his rookie year, his last year of the contract. He's not going to go in there. It's not big.
This is second to last year.
This is the fourth year.
Yeah, you've only been there 3 years.
So. Yeah. But other than that, though, the Cardinals, they got the tight end. They got Cameron Thomas, DN, at San Diego. Then they got Sanders, another defensive end. Why? I don't know why. Out of Cincinnati. And then they got Kente Ingram, USC. A bunch of dudes, like, I don't think they're going to make any sense to me. Like, the draft, their draft was just as bad as the Bears. And I feel like it was all over the place. I felt like, I don't know if they were – none of these guys are value. I don't know. I just feel very uncomfortable with this draft, what they did, except for Trey McBride. And that's the only guy I feel okay with. But I felt like they should have targeted something else.
Were you surprised that he went to the Cardinals?
No. And yes.
Because, I mean,
I'm surprised that they
success
didn't
they've already had. And I was like, oh, wow, okay, why?
Oh, Ertz is almost basically done. I don't think they're going to re-him up if he wants to. He's too old. And Max Dos Equis Williams, he's good. But again, do we know how well he's going to be able to keep that up? At least with Trey McBride, you know what you're going to get. You know that talent is going to be there. He's going to be the best. He's going to be really good. I think so. In my opinion, he's a well-rounded tight end.
You know, I like
everything you need.
He was my favorite tight end coming out. So, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so, I like their pick. I thought, like what they did. I was surprised that he lasted that long. Honestly, I can't believe the Bucks kept on passing on.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, what's crazy is I think he's going to be one of the better tight ends in the league. As a football player, as a tight end, I honestly think he'll outshine a lot of these tight ends. I think he'll be a better NFL player than Kyle Pitts. But for fantasy, I don't think he'll outbeat Kyle Pitts. But if you want to do the comparison, like, obviously fantasy world is different from the actual football world because the tight end needs the block too. And Kyle Pitts ain't no blocker, bro. That's fact.
Call him from the block. He's like, hey, what? Back up, come in. I don't know why you got me out there if you're not throwing it to me.
Yeah, so
just FYI, Zach Ertz just signed a 3-year contract with the Cardinals.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, 31 million.
But like I said, they're not gonna extend anything after that. Dude's already
probably not.
Yeah, that'd be 35 then. Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, but I mean, I still think that's good for McBride to be under Zach Ertz. I think Zach Ertz has a lot to teach at the tight end position in the NFL.
I think McBride would have been good no matter where he went.
So he said, you really think he has a QB set before? Who are we talking about here?
Talking about
I think talking about Kyler Murray.
If they don't give him another year, do you think he sits? I think that he won't come into training camp and he'll come in, right before week 1 if you don't give him a contract, and he'll do, what Jackson did. Lamar, just come in, wait till the last second, then come in and say, okay, I'll play, but I'm not going to sit here and do all the stuff and build this team up if you're not going to commit to me.
Okay. No, they'll work something out. They're not going to go into the season without him.
Unless they don't believe in him, because the Cardinals. I mean, I think the greatest move was dropping Rosen and coming and get Murray. I mean, if you see a guy next year and you see the writing on the wall,
yeah,
cut the season. F this now. 6-8. We got 6 games that without our best wide receiver. Let's forget this. Let's try a tank next year. Get another quarterback. Get rid of him.
Yeah.
So and Kyler Murray is not a great leader, so I don't think this is a huge shock to anybody that if they decide to do that, like, okay, either try to trade him or you get you tank for another guy.
Speaking of trading, Anthony just brought it up that if Dak was closest, but they paid him.
Yeah.
Trading. So trading Kyler would be crazy with a 23 pick draft class. Maybe they move on, but not draft a QB would be a huge value. So because next year the QB that I'm probably looking at is CJ Stroud and
CJ Stroud's size. That's an NFL body. That's an NFL type of player right there. Even more.
Yeah.
Than Alabama.
If they miss on CJ Stroud, there's Bryce Young as well. At least as of now, those are the top 2 right now. That
Bryce Young is Kyler Murray.
He's just a little taller.
He's taller though. He's like 6'3". 6'4".
Bryce Young is 6'2".
Young is 6'2" with him.
He's 6, I think.
He's only 6.
Yeah, CJ Stroud is 6'3", I believe.
Yeah, Stroud is 6'3", 220, 220.
And that can easily happen with these guys. They could trade them out, and again, like it's exactly how Anthony put it.
It's 6 feet.
Right, yeah, 6 feet, 194. Yep,
194.
Mm-hmm.
Still a little taller than Kyler Murray's, 5'9".
With cleats on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he meant Lev Bell was set as a running back. So you're talking about the running back, Lev Bell?
Yeah, we understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
you haven't seen a quarterback sit out.
Yeah. So, I mean, other than that, though, that's what I think about what the Cardinals and what the Ravens did. I think it was an okay move. I don't think it was bad. You disagree, Brian, which is okay. We all have our opinions and everything. I still think that was okay for them. They know what they're getting. He's worked with them before. They had a frustrated QB. Let's go get his best friend. Keep him here a little bit longer. Spend a first, kind of like what the Eagles did. They know they've been sucking at getting receivers in the last couple of years. They know what they're getting with their first. Essentially, they used their first for Marquise Brown, and I think that's how I look at it, and that's how I view it.
But without the benefit of having 5 years to pay this guy, and you see what's going on with the amount of money you got, the salary you got paid these wide receivers. That's why I'm saying I would have, if you're going to do the trade, I would do it for a second. And my reasoning would be I have to pay him.
Mm-hmm. That could have been fun.
And that's what I'm saying. And I'm just saying first was my problem. Not the trade, not the teams, all that stuff. I would say at least a second because I'm not going to pay. If I have to pay him now, I'm not doing it for a first rounder. You get 5 years for this guy.
Anthony, damn, that's 30.
With cleats. You've all played with someone, they were like, oh, he's 6 feet tall, and he takes his cleats off and he's like 5'7". You all know.
You got them 3/4 quarter-inch cleats.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Come on, man.
So Mark,
who's on?
So as a dynasty owner, what would you do with DeAndre Hopkins? You're gonna bite the bullet. You're gonna try and trade him off for someone to, yeah. Like I'm not asking it specifically you, but I'm just saying as advice from Hopkins owners.
Well, I was this close to trading him.
Okay,
but
so your first leaning is trading him.
Well, now I don't. But now I still might have to wait though. At least I'm a little deep at receiver. Let's just hope that these bye weeks are a little later. Past week 6, and then I'll be fine because I have Juju and I have CD. So,
CD, man.
Yeah.
So if I can get the buys to be past week 6, I can be fine biting the bullet. I think Murray's production will go down a bit.
I said, are you not worried about this?
No, I'm worried about Murray.
Murray only got 9 games in him.
Yeah, we've seen Murray without Hopkins not be able to do anything. So that worries me probably more.
So,
and so Marquise is at $2 million with this year and 13 next year.
Braided.
So
you're gonna have to pay him.
It better work, man.
You're gonna have to pay him. I mean, and then after that, now you really got to pay him because you see wide receivers now. A number one wide receiver is going to cost you $30 million. That's what our world from now on. That is our world. So if he gets past this $13 million, you want to pay him up.
Yeah,
3 year, $90 million.
Well, I mean, we'll see how it goes.
I don't think
if
Brown deserves that much money, though. He hasn't done production like Devontae Adams and these other receivers have, though.
But that's exactly like what I said. Like, it depends on how it's going to happen this year. If this dude balls out and the chemistry just clicks again,
then the money will have to be there. Yes,
like, give me my money. Exactly, that's what's going to be. But when we're 3 years out and these guys are already getting $30 million, 3 years later, the regular guys are going to be getting $30 million. Those top upper echelon.
It's that Christian Kirk contract messed up the whole NFL, man.
Exactly.
That contract messed up everything.
Makes no sense.
Yeah,
I still can't believe
Jaguars. Man, I got their background today. All right, so yeah, Mark kept Watson all year, and he'll keep him.
I think right now my plan is hopefully I'll keep him, and then he balls out when he comes back. And then that'll make, because I think if I try to trade him now, his trade value is going to be like, I'm not going to get what I want for him. But if he comes back and balls out, then I can get the trade value back up. So I might.
Or you could have just traded him when I told you to trade him like months ago.
I tried. I was this close. I almost was able to swap Kyler Murray and D-Hop for Joey B.
Okay. That's actually pretty good.
And I was getting a receiver in return, but I can't remember who.
So what's the receiver you're getting?
I was getting a receiver too, but I can't remember who it was off the top of my head.
But it doesn't matter that much because you had good receivers already. So
yeah. Oh man, if you would have pulled that off, that'd been great.
Oh, I know.
You as usual, Mark is always in a weird.
It's not a dynasty season if one of my players aren't suspended or something isn't happening or somebody might sit out on my team. It's just not the same.
D-Hop contract ends at 2024, so it's almost lines up perfect to pay Hollywood to overlap 1 year. Yeah, I mean that's
DeAndre Hopkins is a number one receiver. I am still not convinced Marquise Brown is a number one receiver.
No,
Jerry Jeudy
to do it, but we don't. I don't.
That was the receiver I was going to get in return, Jerry Jeudy.
Oh, Jerry Jeudy? I would have did that.
Yeah. I was going to get rid of a 29 receiver for a 22-year-old.
Yeah,
playing with Russell Wilson.
Yeah, you really should have traded him. Yeah, no. Look, he tried. I told him months ago. He successfully traded away Derrick Henry.
Man, that's good because he got 2 years in. That's it.
I'm proud of you, Mark, for doing that. I know that must have hurt because he's going to be productive next season. But after that, like Brian said, look, Giants fall hard, and he's a big dude. So
like Malik Willis will never play with Derrick Henry ever, like for real. So it'll be the end of Derrick Henry. We can't call him the same. It won't be the same Derrick.
And I know this might be a long shot, but Hassan Haskins or whatever, the running back they drafted behind him, he's just as big as him.
Yeah.
Maybe a slight, like by poundage, maybe at 20, 30 pounds, but the size of him, he looks big. He could potentially he's bigger than most backs in the NFL. If he's learning off the king, who knows, man?
I don't know.
We'll see. But we
don't
know
about the drama in Tennessee.
Negative.
Tannehill already came out publicly.
Oh, that
he said he will not be mentoring Malik Willis.
Yeah, you're right.
I was like, what?
I don't know why I say no, and then you tell me, and then I say yeah. I do that all the time. Yeah, said it's not his job.
Yeah,
you heard what Tannehill said though. He said after the game that he threw an interception, he had to be in counseling for a month because he just kept on going over it. He realized he's the reason that they were in the Super Bowl. Just him. They should have made it. If it wasn't for him throwing the interception, they probably would have been there. So he was in counseling. He couldn't get over it.
Interesting.
It happens.
It happens. But I can see why they drafted a quarterback.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't think he'll play until half the year. If anything, the one rookie quarterback that might actually play this season is Desmond Ridder. Mm-hmm. I have a good feeling that of all the rookies there, he probably will play sooner than most.
I don't know. I mean, in Pittsburgh, they got 3 Spider-Man pointing at each other. They're all the same guy. I don't. It's just all 3 of them just looking at each other like.
It is true.
The QB situation in the draft was totally like the NFL does this to us. We come out here with so many mocks, professionals, so many mocks. We agree with what they say. We come up with ours. We evaluate it, and then the draft comes up, and our mock drafts is this to this. Yeah, like it just gets flip flop left and right, and it's like holy crap. Like some of them you hit, some of them you don't. Like. I still don't like Trayvon Walker, and I don't care what you say. I don't think he's gonna be that. He's gonna be that.
He could be really productive for 2 years. That 3rd year is going to show something. I don't know if he's going to be all 5 years. He's not going to be worth the contract.
Aiden Hutchinson will though.
Aiden Hutchinson is going to be steady. He's going to get you 8 to 10 sacks every single year. He's going to be there. He's going to play well against the run. That's what he is.
And I'm okay with that. And I am okay with that.
It's a cornerstone. That's what it is. But I gotta go. I got my own show to do. But I just want to jump in with you guys.
All right. Well, thanks for stopping by, man.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
So, the Falcons.
Yes. Braden is right. That trade wasn't happening.
Yeah. Well,
that was all on the other guy, though, being ridiculous with his demands.
Yeah, it was ask the farm. He really thought he was getting it. I asked him later on, I'm like, do you really think that was fair? He goes, yeah. I'm like,
wow.
Really? He goes, I'm giving them elite QBs and elite star like receivers or whatever. I'm like, yeah, but you're also like getting all of the first for like the next 2 years.
And he was getting Devontae Adams, though. That's the elite of elite receivers. Plus, it was giving him a double stack with Derek Carr.
Yeah.
I was like, you're getting almost as much as we are. And we were giving him draft picks. Like, we weren't we understood what he was giving up. But, like, he wanted, like, I think 6 first-rounders.
Yeah,
the first time he proposed the trade. I was like,
too much. No.
Okay.
All right, so let me just I was going to say this Sunday. I held off. I was going to say this Tuesday. I couldn't. I had ended up doing some duty. So the Army called me for, whatever, to push off their mission that they had going on. So duty calls. I didn't get to go on the Panda Grizzly show last night. I stopped in at the butt end of it to give my Bears grade evaluation, and it's a C- for me. That those two were thinking B's, B pluses. I'm like, no, bro. I don't think like your 2 safeties. Brisker, I love Brisker. Like I think he's gonna be a real good Gordon. He's gonna be a real good DB. But other than that, I felt like they didn't do anything for that line.
I was also happy they didn't trade up like Brian wanted them to do.
Yeah,
because you're gonna want you're gonna want your first round pick next year, man. Like, 100%. Sacrifice your first round pick this year so you can go up and get like Olave.
Yeah, next season, like maybe they land Paris Johnson out of Ohio State. I know this is super freaking early and nobody's gonna know who he is, but you'll hear Paris Johnson or Peter Skonoski. One of those.
Someone has to step up to get rid of the 3 receivers they lost in this draft. So
yeah. So, anyways, Atlanta Falcons. They went Drake London number 1. I like him. It was either Treylon Burks, Garrett Wilson, or Drake London for me. Did I expect them to land there in Atlanta? I kind of did. I thought eventually I thought that they would go with Garrett Wilson, but they went with Drake London. So they went with two big body pass catchers back-to-back years with Kyle Pitts first year and Drake London the second year. I like it. Do I agree with them not getting a QB? I do. A lot of people were saying they should have won a QB first round. I'm like, no. I think next year they should have waited. But
it definitely worked out because of what they got.
Like I said, the way the draft kind of worked out, they had 2 firsts. They didn't use the 2 first on a QB. They ended up getting Arnold Ikebidi out of Penn State, which I was upset about. They drafted him over Boye Mafe. So whatever they saw in him over Boye Mafe, okay. I don't know. But let's see how it turns out for them. And then they got Troy Anderson out of Montana State. Again, I felt like that was a reach. Do I like Troy Anderson? Yes. But I felt like Leo Chanel, Chattamuma were still hanging around the miss. Even Devin Lloyd was still there. And they went with Troy Anderson. Again, big, tough dude. Not really good pass catcher. He kind of reminds me of Brian Urlacher. He's just like big, scary dude, just kind of there. And he will stop the run, but he'll get burnt by a speedy receiver. Easy. Not really well that coverage, but we'll see how that turns out. And then in the third, at pick 74, Desmond Ridder. Yes. I was shocked that.
How funny is it that my favorite quarterback in the draft went to your team, and then your favorite quarterback in the draft went to my team?
Yeah.
How funny is that?
At one point, we're gonna give each other's QB props,
right?
Or we're gonna say, "Damn, you were right." It's gonna happen one of those ways.
That was funny.
Like if it was up to me, I would call you right now. Hey, do you want to just trade right now?
Right.
And I think we would be okay with it. So Desmond Ridder, you liked him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And any you were higher on him than I was. Why?
Well, I told you he reminded me of Josh Allen. The size, he can move. He had an arm. He looked fairly accurate from the tape I could see.
Okay.
And then he has a confidence about him. I don't know if you heard any of these, but like he was doing interviews and he was saying like, "You guys need to draft me. I'm going to be the best quarterback in this draft." And I know some people will be like, "Oh, that's really cocky," but I think at quarterback, you need someone who has confidence.
Yeah.
Because if they don't have confidence, they will be like, be like easily like frazzled, and then like throw an interception, and next thing you know, 2 more interceptions. Next thing you know, you lose 3 games in a row just because they don't know what they're doing because they're shattered. So I don't know. I just liked him. He came off confident, but not too cocky to me. I don't know. I just like what he did at Cincinnati.
And I know he did good. He took care of the situation. He wasn't. The thing is, he doesn't have a cannon of an arm. That's what he doesn't have. So the issue there is going to be like, well, he's very smart with what he does. He knows how to put the ball in perfect spots. What I saw. So, he's a smart QB. The only issue is I hope he just doesn't become like a Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
And that's my only issue. And there's a good potential he might be later in life, like 2-3 years from now, he becomes a Teddy Bridgewater. Which I don't want, but hey.
His hands are bigger than Teddy's though. I think Kenny Pickett has more of a chance of being the next Teddy Bridgewater.
Well, but I'm saying his style of playing, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like he doesn't do stupid throws. He makes smart throws, but they're not great throws, and they're pretty close. Like he puts them in position to get up the field, but nothing crazy that you want to have Teddy on your team. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the middle of the range, and I think that's what we're going to see out of Desmond Ridder. But yeah, we'll see how that plays out. I think he ends up playing like by at least week 6, week 8. If Mariota is balling out, then he won't get a shot at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which isn't necessarily the worst thing either. I don't think.
Oh no, and I'm a firm believer of keeping your rookies on the bench a whole year. I really do believe that that's the strategy to hold when it comes to QBs. Unfortunately, there are some QBs that can't do that. It's the way it works out is they they are putting in positions, and they have to play right away from the get-go. Kenny Pickett might potentially be that guy, but I don't know yet. It might be Mitch from the start. But I'm talking about maybe guys like Zach Wilson and
yeah, he was there. Yeah, they were both just, you're number one, get in there.
Yeah, and they're put in these situations where at least each of these guys this season actually have a chance of just sitting down and not actually playing.
Oh, I agree.
Which in That's my opinion is a good thing.
Yeah, I like my situation too, because I think Sam Howell will come in as the third string. And I'm like, yeah, keep him there.
Yeah. I think he'll easily get number 2 for sure.
Oh, I heard a lot of rumblings where he could easily outplay Heineke for number 2.
I think so.
I really don't let him. I don't know. I don't really want to see him start. Just let Wentz play the whole year.
Well, you guys traded for him, so might as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't trade much, but I mean, you did trade something. So, anyways, after Troy Anderson or Desmond Ridder, they went with D'Angelo Malone, linebacker out of Western Kentucky. Not bad. We need help at the linebacker. Just lost Foyce Oluokun. So we'll need to fill in that spot. Foyce Oluokun is some big shoes to fill. If you're not sure who Foyce Oluokun is, then you probably don't play IDP.
Only the number 1 linebacker / defensive player last year.
Yeah, but I mean, if you don't, a lot of people probably don't know who he is because they don't play IDP. But if you're watching this show, I hope that's the reason why you're here in IDP, and give us an IDP question. I love defense. I love the linebackers, and I love the running backs. So I think it's the best spots in the positions. It's the toughest guys in the field. And with that being said, Tyler Algier out of the 5th round pick for the Falcons out of BYU, hasn't played running back that long. Formerly a linebacker when he first got to BYU. They made him a running back. Felt like he had the speed enough. He was smart enough for it, so he can get to the gaps real easy. I think he's going to be good. I wouldn't burn a first 3-round pick on him or 4th round pick on him. Maybe in your later rounds, and maybe throw the dice, gamble on him. Maybe on your later rounds in your rookie drafts. But I think Tyler Algier could potentially make a name for himself. We don't know. He's a very big back.
36 total touchdowns in college.
Yeah, and not bad for a linebacker.
Right.
He played linebacker, so he's a linebacker transitioned to running back. So that's still kind of new to him, and he went into the NFL as a running back. If I see him as a linebacker, I would not be surprised.
I was gonna say, can we get that designation? Running back as linebacker. I'm drafting him on my 2nd round.
I would throw him at linebacker and then have his running back points. So that'd be pretty neat to see. So in recent news, they just got rid of the running back freaking Davis. I'm glad he wasn't a thing. I don't know why they even wasted the time and money and effort for him. I knew this coming in that he was going to show up and do nothing.
Mike Davis.
Carolina used the last of the tank, and we finally got himself a running back, not a high prospected one, but a running back that's a rookie, and we haven't done that since Freeman. So I have a feeling that Tyler Algier might get in some work behind what's his face that just popped off last season from the Bears. I had a brain fart. Kick returner, receiver, running back. Come on. Help me out.
Cohen?
No. You're having a brain fart too. Jesus.
Yeah, I know.
He was a former Bear. He was a kick returner. He was basically the face of the Falcons.
Patterson.
Thank you. That guy. So
Cordell. He was also with the Vikings. That's where he started.
I guess.
Cordell Patterson. Yeah. So for some reason you said that and I was thinking Cohen and I was like, Hester? I was like, that's not right.
No. Jesus. That's unlikely that we both have brain farts at the same time.
Yeah, it was. Patterson, Cordell.
Yeah, Patterson. So he'll probably be under him. And we'll see. And then they got Justin Schaefer out of Georgia, a guard. I'm surprised he was still there. And then we went with John Fitzpatrick at Georgia, tight end. I think it's just a fill-in spot. We'll see. But other than that, though, I think getting with Lorenzo Carter in the offseason, signing him there, I think it'd be all right. Other than that, Overall, I think it was a B.
Ooh, there you go.
B minus, I think. And what was this comment?
He said, "Do you play any full IDP leagues, like all defensive players, no offense?"
I did once before. I did that for 2-3 years, and I got smoked. And then that's when I transitioned to the seriousness. I was in this league. I told nobody about IDP before I introduced it to my friends and family. I'm like, hey, this is what I want to do. It's an IDP league. Oh, what's this? And I did it 3 years consecutively. It took me some time to figure it out what IDP fully is. It's very hard. I think in that league it was 3 down linemen, 3 linebackers, and 3 DBs with 2 flex spots.
Oh, damn.
So essentially it was 11 players. It was interesting to play. I'm in a league that is a more professional league that we have almost something similar. It's 2 down linemen, 2 down linebackers, 2 DBs with 4 flex IDP spots. So very interesting to play with. I won last year, which is great, but an IDP definitely helped. And the rules you can always change. You can double up the tackles per points. I like keeping it at 1. I like keeping the yards the same as the receivers. Like if they catch an interception, I give them a little double for that, and then the yards on top of that. And what your moneymaker is your sacks, but the sack yards on top of the sack points and the tackles for loss. You can add up on that, so it's pretty cool. And glad to hear that Algier good. Good thing is I do need him next year. Make a run for 2023. I think so. I think having him it's not a bad gamble. He could potentially be next year's AJ Dillon. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of hard to say that. But again, like I said, roll the dice. I hope you didn't spend a high draft on him. I hope you got him in like your later rounds, because that's probably where you would want him. There's other backs that I'm excited about too. That's around Tyler Allgeier's tier. But yeah, there's some backs that I'm like. Harris is probably one of them. Who we'll see how his career goes as well. So other than that, though, that's how I felt about my Falcons. It was a B to B minus. I wish they probably would have maybe drafted an O lineman sooner, rather than getting a defensive end. They passed up on Boye Mafe. I felt like he would have been a better guy. Yeah, I think I probably would have been a little bit more happier. And Troy Anderson there was a reach. They could have went with Devin Lloyd, but hey, who am I? I'm just a Falcons fan. I don't have no word, no say.
Right.
I could only just pray to the fantasy gods and the football gods that those vibes just reach into the air and goes into Arthur Blanks' head, and he's like, you know what? Let's do this. So, other than that, though, I don't have much to say. I just wanted to express how I felt about my Falcons. We talked about your Washington team not too long ago.
Yeah, we talked about them on Sunday.
Yeah, so the next couple of weeks, I think we'll give out our rankings, I guess, on how I feel about these next IDPs. At least I'll probably end up doing it. I'm actually thinking about doing a couple of solos. I'm not too sure. Maybe Mark can jump in, but I think I'm going to do teams, individual teams. Like I'm starting to once school's done with finals, like it's like right around the corner, guys. Once that's done, next 2-3 weeks I'll be done with that, and then I think I'm gonna start off with the Jags, and then I'll move on to the Jets, and I think I'm gonna go through draft order, and just give my full blown evaluation on every team. That I'll just do that during the week. And won't be long. I'll go live in the mornings or something like that. We'll figure it out. But that's my plan throughout this summer. We got plenty of shows to come. Football just started for Dynasty Leagues, and I'm excited for it. especially sleeper.
Me too.
We'll have a couple of IDP drafts here coming soon. The positions are in. You can see the IDP players in there. That's always gets me excited for him. And I got him at the 212. More team needed was running back 8 in our rookie draft, so I felt okay at that point. At the 212, a little high for me.
It's a little high, but well, he said it's more team need than anything else.
Yeah, in his league, I think it's a 14-man league or something like that. And I know the guys that he drafts with probably went running back heavy too.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And plus, I think if he hadn't got him, he probably wouldn't have been there when he came back around.
Probably not.
So that's why I said I don't think that's a horrible spot for him to go.
But again, we don't know. Like, was it a four round draft pick? I mean, there's some leagues out there with 5, up to 7. I know most average it's 4 to 5 usually, typically. But yeah, so look, I'm excited for him. I wouldn't roll him out right away. I think I'd probably put him in the taxi squad, see how he does this season. I don't know. It's one of those guys where it's like maybe he'll do good, maybe he not. We don't know yet. But I do like him as a football player, as a linebacker transition to the running back position. So that's pretty cool to see. Not many guys have done that before. So, I mean, it's not like, you're going to get all-pro offensive player like our made-up character, freaking Travis Henry here. That guy. If this guy was real.
Oh, man.
This guy would be amazing. But.
What is he, tight end / running back? Just he can catch it, he can run it.
The vision, the catch, the speed, the strength. Bro, Travis Henry's got it all.
Imagine a guy in the backfield just 6'5", getting ready to just take the ball. Like, I think defenders would be like, you know what? Just go to the house. I don't even want to try.
My career is more important.
Yeah.
So yeah, 12-team leagues at pick 24 overall, 4-round draft pick. At the 212, I don't know. I think I want to see the rest of the draft how it played out. If all the running backs went sooner, and I know the guys he plays with, and it's from the Get Right crew, and they love running backs. They love it. It's a very and I feel like Anthony kind of put that in their heads. I think he incepted the idea that running back it's a good spot, which it is. I mean, they go down a lot quicker. We're the same way. Running backs go down a lot quicker. Running backs are more needed, especially on the back end of the season. So I guess at the 24th pick, I guess it's not too bad. It's still I just wonder what was around there. That's all. I just hope you didn't get Pickens. And I know a lot of people are liking George Pickens, but I don't think it's gonna be a thing. I really don't, but we'll see.
More like Slim Pickens.
I could be wrong. Yeah, with tiny Pickens, tiny hands throwing the tiny hands, bro. That's all it is in Pickens. So look, Anthony, I'm glad you joined.
He was the 8th running back.
He was. Oh yeah. Okay, so that's what he meant by RB8. Really?
Interesting.
Okay. I'm trying to think of who 6 and 7 were. Obviously, Spiller, Walker, and Hall were probably 1, 2, 3. Cooks was probably 4. I'm trying to think of White was probably 5. There you go, 6 and 7. I'm trying to figure out who those guys were. It's very interesting. But anyways, again, Anthony, thank you for stopping by.
You know why I don't think it's that bad of a pick? Because I think if you look at his situation, outside of Cordell Patterson, who's not even a true running back, the Falcons don't have anybody else on the roster.
No, and that's the thing, though. It might be a good thing. It might be okay. But again, we don't know. So he might not get as much work as because he's a rookie this season. But we'll see how it plays out. I'm trying to figure out who else. Damian Williams was the other guy I was thinking of. He's got to outshine him. And I think Damian Williams will out. It'll be Patterson, Williams. You got to think that Quadre Olison is still there too. But Algier could potentially beat those guys out. Beat out Olison for sure.
Hall, Walker, and Cook.
Yeah. Hall, Walker, Cook. Yep. Those weren't 4, 5, and 6, or 3, 4, 5. See, I would expect those guys to be 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna go to let me go to draft board. I'm really curious on how it went. So I know it probably would have been Breece Hall, Walker, Cook, Hall. Spiller probably should have been the other running back. White, I mentioned. Oh, Williams, I'm assuming. And then Dameon Pierce.
Pierce, White, Spiller.
Did he comment again?
Yeah, Pierce, White, Spiller.
Pierce, White, Spiller. So those were the 6. Okay, so yeah, I was.
So who's the so who was the first guy, or isn't there one more guy? Wasn't he 8?
He mentioned Hall. He mentioned
so Breece Hall, Walker, Cook, then Pierce, then White, then Spiller. That leaves one more.
I'm not seeing these comments, man. You got him?
Oh, Robinson. Oh, so someone took my guy, Robinson.
Brian Robinson.
I forgot about Brian Robinson.
I'm not too high on him, man.
I'm not either from a fantasy perspective, because I mean, what is he going to be?
White?
3?
Was it Rachaad White or Zamir White? Even Tyler Beatty might actually be good too. Again, if the Ravens are going to run that much, and if one of these guys go down, Beatty might have a chance too. See if Hassan Haskins is still floating around. I don't know, dude, but these are guys that probably would have taken maybe roughly around the same time of Algier, like Haskins and one of the Whites. Pierre Strong is one of them too.
I definitely would take an Algier over Robinson.
Yeah, no, hands down. But Dameon Pierce, I probably would have taken over Algier. I think Dameon Pierce is gonna be the main feature there in Houston.
Well, Pierce wasn't there for him to get, so that's why he got Algier.
Did he say Pierce? Oh, I missed
Pierce, White, Spiller.
Yeah. So, well, best of luck, man.
First, Walker, then Cook, then Pierce, then White, then Spiller, then Robinson. And then he was like, I guess I got to take a running back, otherwise I won't be here.
And Kyren Williams is draft capital is going to drop. He ended up with LA, and I don't want to touch any of the LA running backs right now. They just added another piece. Like, why? Why would you? Whatever, dude. All right. Anyways, I'm done. That was pretty much. I had my piece with Falcons, and talk about 2 trades. You got anything else, man?
I grade you guys about a B+, I think.
Okay.
I know you reached for a couple, but I think you got a steal. Or maybe not a steal, but I think you did good getting Ritter. And I think you knocked it out of the park with your first pick getting Drake London. So
I think so. So we'll see how it turns out.
I do agree. Instead of linebacker or edge rusher like they got, I think they should have gone offensive lineman. But I mean, the edge rusher they got is pretty good too. So
yeah,
and that was a need as well.
Yeah, it was, but I feel like it's in a certain point. I feel like the line probably need a little bit more. I don't know. Anyways, that's it, man. Anthony, again, thanks for stopping by. Come back again. Pick my brain with dynasty questions. I love that. I love IDPs. And then tell your mates over there. But other than that, though, I got nothing else. This is a good show. A little bit of everything, and next picks were Corral, Haskins, Tolbert, Davis, and Pierce. Tolbert, Jan Tolbert. Okay. right after Rashad White. Okay. Right after his pick. Okay.
It says Carol Haskins.
Well, I know it's Corral, Matt Corral, and I get it.
I know. I just was thinking of Carol Haskins from that show.
Baskins or whatever.
Oh, Baskins. Yeah, I was just like, Carol Haskins.
Matt, that's an interesting pick, and we'll get to that. I don't know what they're going to do in Carolina, but I would expect it's going to be Sam Darnold coming in.
I would.
We'll see. But thanks, Anthony.
Did they draft a quarterback? Did they get one?
Yeah.
Matt Corral. Oh, they got
Matt Corral. Yeah. So.
Well, definitely it's going to be Darnold starting because I don't know. We don't know the injury status of Corral.
No, but I think by the time he's ready to roll out, he'll be all right.
Plus, with him coming off an injury, I don't think you want to throw him to the Wolves. Like, Darnold, you know what? Just go take a beating.
I don't know. I think Darnold will still play as much as they can. I mean, they kind of spent a little bit on him last season because next season, I mean, none of the QBs have really. I mean, the main QBs that we're talking about is C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, and Tyler Van Dyke out of Miami. And those are the top three right now. It'll grow, but again, that's a whole year, and we're not even hitting this season yet. And so that I don't think they're planning ahead that much, and they could be because with this pick. Now, where the Lions, I think they are planning ahead, and I think one of those guys are end up being on that team because Jared Goff is still good.
Mm-hmm. No,
he's decent enough. He's not great. He's just a guy average. But
I think the way he played, especially towards the end of the season, cemented him as being the starter for now.
Towards the end, yeah.
He played really well
with Jameson Williams being there. Hopefully that'll add some depth there. Defense obviously got a lot better. So we'll see how the Lions go. Other than that, though, may the 4th be with you. Little Star Wars thing there. Good morning, good evening, good night. This is Dynasty Pylon, wherever the hell you're at. I will catch you on the next one. We will be here Sunday, talking more draft results and we'll probably get into arguments as we typically normally do. And then do spike bets. I don't know. We'll see. And that's because Dan Campbell's calling the plays. Yeah. That's very true. It's very true. All right, Ben. Take care, man.
Yep.
All right. I'll see you guys later.
Yep.
Getting hyped when I aim up. Elevating that game up. Stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm winning till they digging up my grave. Eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate.